Alright guys, JORDSTAR here and welcome to my Monday Night Raw full show preview video for this week's episode of Monday Night Raw on Monday the 12th of January 2015. And the 2015 Royal Rumble pay-per-view is next Sunday night, which is just crazy because it doesn't even feel like it's here. There hasn't been any build towards it really. And in this video, I'm going to go through the things that are confirmed and rumoured for this week's episode, and also what I think could happen on this week's episode of Raw. So last week on Raw, at the end of the show, we saw the Authority host an appreciation night for John Cena. They then fired former Intercontinental Champion Dolph Ziggler, Ryback and Eric Rowan. All three of them men are now fired from the company, and I really don't know what's going to happen next, because maybe the Authority fire more superstars. I really don't know what is going to happen, but I think that's one thing that could be interesting on Raw, to see what the Authority do next. But still, it's still always the same old shit with the Authority. It's boring, no one likes it, and it just makes a very terrible episode when they're on there. Also, last week it was announced that Seth Rollins has been added to the John Cena and Brock Lesnar match at Royal Rumble 2015 next Sunday for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, to make it a triple threat match between them three. I think that's probably going to be better than having Cena versus Lesnar, because we've seen that at SummerSlam Night Champions. Both times it's been very boring, just been a dominant match which is just very boring. But now we have Seth Rollins in there, Brock Lesnar and John Cena, three big names in the company today. I think they can put on a good match at Royal Rumble, and also I think it's going to make the build better, because we haven't seen any build at all really for the John Cena Brock Lesnar match. We've just seen Brock Lesnar attack John Cena, and that's it that's happened between them two. But there has been quite a lot of tension between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins shook Paul Heyman's hand about a month ago, and Brock Lesnar's advertised for this week's show, so I think it's going to be interesting to see how Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman react to being having Seth Rollins being added to the match to make it a triple threat match. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens between them, maybe a brawl between Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. John Cena gets involved, I don't know. Something interesting has to happen, because I'm not excited for this match one bit. I think it will be a good match, but I'm not excited for it. I'm not excited for the pay-per-view, because personally, there has been no build towards this pay-per-view at all. Also, there is only 2 people announced for the 2015 Royal Rumble match, which is terrible. This is supposed to be one of the most exciting matches of the year, one of the most important matches of the whole year, because the winner of this takes on the WWE World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania, the biggest event of the year, and yet there's been no build towards it. They've hardly mentioned it on Monday Night Raw. They've hardly ever mentioned the Royal Rumble match on any WWE product since TLC. The only other time they've really talked about is when Daniel Bryan announced his return to the ring, and it's going to be in the Royal Rumble match, and when Roman Reigns announced that he's going to be in the match. That's the only time they've mentioned the Royal Rumble match, and the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is next Sunday night. How pathetic is that? There's still 28 superstars that we need to find out who's in the match. Obviously there's going to be some surprises, but at least find out 10 more. Can we at least have 10 more people being announced on Raw this week? Because I don't even know the match has taken place. Obviously, you do know, but say if someone else was watching it, no one would know this match has taken place if they haven't watched WWE before. It's pathetic. There needs to be more announced. There needs to be a lot more build towards this match. So hopefully in the next 2 episodes of Raw before the pay-per-view, they can actually build up this pay-per-view, because so far they've done a terrible job. And also, last week on Raw we saw a title change. Bad News Barrett became the Intercontinental Champion after the Authority abused their powers once again, which is the same old shit, to help Bad News Barrett defeat Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. For some weird reason on Smackdown, Sin Cara defeated Bad News Barrett clean, and just what the fuck are they thinking, and the booking this shit. Like, are we really going to get Sin Cara versus Bad News Barrett on a pay-per-view? Are we really going to get that? Why does Sin Cara defeat Bad News Barrett, who's just won the Intercontinental Championship, on Monday Night Raw, 4 days? I really don't know what they're thinking anymore, and it's scary to think that, because it's just making me not want to watch the show anymore. Maybe we get Sin Cara and Barrett for the title on Raw this week, since Dolph Ziggler's been fired. I just really don't know what's happening anymore. Last week we saw the first ever ambulance match on an episode of Monday Night Raw between Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt, which was an epic match. That was probably the only good thing that I enjoyed on Raw. I think it's going to be interesting to see if they continue the rivalry, because maybe Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose have one last final match in their rivalry at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. But I guess we'll probably find out this week if they're going to continue the rivalry, or they're going to do something else with Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose. Superstars that are advertised for Raw this week are John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, Kane, Roman Reigns and Big Show are all advertised for this week's show. I'm just going to finish off the video just by saying, WWE, please can you put on a good show, because I've been waiting months now and there still hasn't been a good Monday Night Raw that I've enjoyed all the way through, or I've even enjoyed half of the show. There's always like just one thing that I enjoyed like last week, the ambulance match. I hardly ever enjoy an episode of Raw. I've started to watch it now and just skip through bits. I've stopped watching Smackdown. I don't watch Main Event. It's just getting really pathetic now. You would think that we're on the road to WrestleMania. It's Royal Rumble next Sunday. At least it could be a bit more exciting than it is now, because so far I'm not excited for the pay-per-view. There's hardly been any build. The only match I've mentioned is John Cena versus Brock Lesnar and the Royal Rumble match about 2 times. They hardly ever mention the pay-per-view, and it's just pathetic that it's next Sunday and they hardly ever mention the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which is one of the big pay-per-views of the whole year and starts off the road to the biggest event of the year. Are they really this pathetic? They have Sin Cara defeat Bad News Barrett 4 days after he wins the Intercontinental Championship. I don't even know what's happening anymore. The Authority are back. It's going to be a boring episode, I think we all know that, because it's just the same old shit that we've seen for about 2 years now, and it's just getting very boring, and it's making me not even want to watch the show. So I'm probably not going to even watch the show. I'm going to have a look what happens first before I watch it, because if it looks like it's shit, I'm definitely not going to be watching it. And to be honest, I don't even really want to watch the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It's not exciting me at all. Hopefully this episode changes my mind. But thanks for watching my Raw preview. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all later.